Hello guys, welcome back to part 2 of why your silk press is failing and how to make sure that you have a successful silk press. In my first part I talked mainly about the wash day, the product, and things that you need to make sure that you have a good base and a foundation to achieve a good silk press. And in today's video we are going to be talking all about techniques, your blowout and your actual silk press. So without me rambling on guys, let's get into the video. So tip number 1 is you need to use a lightweight leave-in conditioner. The leave-in conditioner that I use is the Red Ken Extreme Anti-Snap. Honestly, I've not experimented a lot with leave-ins for my straight hair because I found one that I liked and I just ran with it. So that you're not weighing your hair down, you also still want something that's a little bit strengthening and gonna give you a little bit of moisture so that your hair does not start to revert back. The second tip is your blowout is everything. So when you're doing your blowout, you need to make sure you are using a smoothing brush. When I say smoothing, I mean a brush that has both bristles, like boar bristles, and teeth. Is that the word I'm looking for? Teeth. The one that I like is the Bristol one. It contains 100% boar bristle, which is a lot better for your hair than some other plastics that can be a little bit more harsh. But I also reach for my Babyliss blow dry round brush. I really like that one as well because the actual barrel in itself is ceramic, which means it gets hot as well when you're blow drying. So the barrel and the bristles all together just kind of contribute to that level of smoothing. If your blowout isn't good, it's going to be very hard for you to achieve a good silk press. If you want to get a good blowout, here's a couple of things that you need to make sure that you're doing. So 1 is to use the smoothing brush. 2 is to make sure that you're using a concentration nozzle on your hairdryer because that makes a massive difference. When you look at all the other higher end, tools and blow dryers such as Dyson, such as, who else is there? GHD, and there's someone else who I'm not thinking, Shark. A lot of their technology is focused on airflow and making sure that the air flows in as concentrated position as possible. So if you don't have a high-end blow dryer, you absolutely do need to be using that concentration nozzle, and that's going to concentrate the heat in a specific direction to help to smooth your hair. Because think about it, when you're not using a concentration nozzle and you just blow drying your hair anyhow, the hair is flying in all different directions. Even though you might not think it's a big deal, when it's now time to straighten and your hair's dry, there's flyaways that are all in different directions. It makes the whole process a lot harder. So concentration nozzle on that blow dryer and smoothing brushes as well. Another step that you can do, which is really optional, honestly you don't need to do this, but you can use a blow dry spray. So Keracare has one. I know Kenra also has a blow dry spray. How blow dry sprays work is that they actually break the water molecules into tinier particles, which makes them easier to evaporate off the hair. So not only do they cut the blow dry time in half, but they also make sure that all the water in your hair is dispersed, which is also something that is really crucial because sometimes your hair feels like it's dry but it's not actually 100% dry, and that can drastically affect your silk press. Between that and then also sweating whilst you're blow drying, I don't know if you guys are anything like me, but when I'm straightening my hair it gets hot up in there. I'll be sweating whilst I'm blow drying and I can't tell if my hair's wet or if I'm just sweating, and it's all a mess if I'm being so honest. So yeah, a blow dry spray really helps to get your hair dry, like really dry. But like I said, that's so optional because you can obviously get your hair super dry without a blow dry spray anyways, but it just kind of helps to quicken the process and just makes sure 100% your hair is so dry. Because even if it's dry kind of on the surface, sometimes in the deeper layers of your hair there's still a little bit of moisture there, which can make your hair a bit more prone to reverting very quickly. That's another thing that I find, is that people's hair starts to revert back literally by the time they finish their head, in like 20 minutes their hair is starting to revert back. And a lot of the times that's 1, due to kind of moisture trapped inside your hair, and 2, humidity as well, which is exactly why another tip, when you are doing a silk press in your room, make sure the room is well ventilated. Like open the window, have a fan on, crack up the aircon, like whatever you need to do to make sure that room doesn't get hot and stuffy and humid, do it, because it can really just like hinder the entire silk press process. Like whilst you're straightening, your hair could literally be reverting back at the same time, which you don't want. So always have a window open or a fan or something. I mean, that's not part of this, but I just thought of it and thought to say it. So that's the blowout part. That's how you achieve a really good blowout. Okay, blow dry spray, open window, concentration nozzle, and a smoothing brush, right? So now you've got your banging blowout. Your blowout should be flowy. Now you've got that, it's time to now straighten your hair. So tip number 1 about straightening your hair, use a ceramic hair straightener, okay? If you're not a professional hairstylist or a professional cosmetologist or whatever it is, just steer clear of the titanium hair straighteners. Because of the way titanium hair straighteners are, they definitely do get hotter and get the hair straighter and distribute the hair and distribute the heat deeper into the strands. But if you're not a professional, just stick to ceramic, because that can also lead to excessive heat damage, right? Like, you're all right with ceramic. The next thing you want to make sure you're doing is using a silicone serum. This is going to help with shine. This is also going to help to protect your hair. The one that I love and I think everybody uses, the Chi Silk Infusion, oldie but goodie. Another one that I have been using as of recently and reaching for a lot is the Philip Kingsley frizz fighting gloss. So I have really been liking that one. It's a lot thicker than the Chi, which means I need to use a lot less, but the more viscous it is, I feel like it just does the job slightly better, but not to a crazy extent. When I was training my hair, what I actually used to do is I would apply silicone to each section that I was sectioning. The next tip I have in the straightening to make sure that your silk press does not fail, guys, is to use the highest heat setting. Oh my gosh, I always see videos of people that are doing their silk press for like the first time ever, and then they're like, I'm not going to use the highest heat setting, and I'm like, oh my gosh, why would you not? You need that. Like, I know that there's obviously a fear of like heat damage and things like that, but if you want to get the results that you want to get, and I assume you want to get it because that's why you clicked on this video, you're going to need to use the highest heat setting. Now, this particularly goes for people whose hair is not heat trained. Mine is heat trained, so I can use low heat setting. I can use really low heat settings because my hair is heat trained. But even on my roots, I use the highest temperature possible. It's only kind of like on the lengths of my hair that I use a lower heat setting, because if I don't, one, my silk presses, it might look good for like a day or two, but it also does not last as long. So it's kind of like a give or take, because if it doesn't last as long, you have to put heat on it a lot quicker because your style doesn't last as long. So it's definitely a balance, but if you want to achieve a really good, you know, silk press, then you have to use the highest heat setting. The next thing that you want to make sure that you are doing is using a boar bristle brush to straighten your hair. So a lot of the times I see people using tail combs to straighten their hair, which isn't bad. I mean, it can still get you the results, especially a lot of stylists can do it. However, if you really want to get that hair silky straight, a boar bristle brush will do that for you, because a boar bristle brush, especially the double-sided one, the one that I have is the double-sided boar bristle brush, and what I do is I clamp the hair in between that section, and because they're bristles, they grab the hair and they also spread out the strands, so that when you straighten your hair, you're pretty much grabbing each individual strand, as opposed to a tail comb that doesn't quite, how am I going to explain it? It doesn't quite grab the hair in the same way that a bristle brush does, especially the double-sided one. So, and then the last tip, which is arguably my most important tip out of both of the videos, I think a lot of people bypass this and they don't really think that it means a lot, but it definitely does, and that is small sections. Like, if with any style that you want to achieve, if you want it to look good, whether it's a wash and go, whether it's a silk press, whether it's whatever it is that you're doing, braids, the smaller the sections, the better the hair is going to turn out, period. So if you are straightening your hair specifically as well for like the first time or the first couple of times, oof, like the smallest section, like you want to take a section of hair that is see-through, that you can see through it. That's how small and thin the section should be if you want to achieve a really silky flowy silk press. And again, like I said, once your hair is a bit more heat trained, and if you are a straight natural like me, then yeah, you can get away with straightening your hair in larger sections. I don't take small sections anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, done. Like when I was starting out straightening my hair, it would take me over an hour. If it's not taking you an hour, you're doing something wrong. And my hair's not that long to be, you know, taking a long time. So that is pretty much it for this 2-part video on why your silk press is failing, how to get your silk press to absolutely, you know, smash it. I promise if you follow these tips you will 100% get a good silk press that you like, and it might even look like you got it done in a salon. Someone asked me the other day, do I get my hair done in the salon or do I do it at home? And I thought, oh my gosh, I was so flattered. This is a DIY job. Yeah, because anybody got the money to be going to the salon every 3 weeks to be silk pressing my hair? So yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching and I will see you in my next one.